Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquer and Commander. Today we're going to be looking at the Evasive Maneuvers Commander 2013 Preconstructed deck. For more on my thoughts about this deck, go to puremtgo.com, look up my article series Conquer and Commander. You'll see the article looking a little bit like this. I'm still in the process of writing it, but I'll talk a little bit more about the games I played and my thoughts and stuff like that. The deck itself actually wasn't horrible, but it tends to have the same problems that the Mind Seize deck has, which is that it's really two different decks rolled into one. The good thing about this deck, however, is that the two parts, which are essentially a tapping part with Derevi and an enters the battlefield part with Rune, the two different parts actually worked kind of well together. So this was a better deck than the Mind Seize deck, and I managed to actually, win a couple games with it. But really, in all honesty, if you pick this deck up, you're going to want to split it into one or the other in terms of how we're going to make this deck. I'm going to move this over here right now. Let's just take a look at the stats in the deck real quick here. So it's got a 3.4 average CMC, which is pretty good. A lot of stuff in the 3-drop area. Only one casting cost spell. So let's just talk about the deck. And basically what I'm going to do is the way that it's built right now, it's missing a little bit of ramp and a bit of removal, and it's got some stuff that the deck doesn't really need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the deck and split it up into 4 piles actually. This pile right here is going to be, it can go into either deck. This is obviously going to be the Rune 187 enters the battlefield guys. This is going to be your tappers and wizards. This is going to be your junk pile. The mana base itself actually was pretty decent. I didn't have any problems with it. Obviously there's multiple ways to upgrade it with stuff like fetch lands and duels and stuff like that. But let's just talk about what we've got going on right here. Selesnya Guild Mage is decent, but it doesn't really further the deck's goals, either the deck's goals. It doesn't do 187 stuff. It does do tokens, which can be good with the Derevi portion. So I would probably, I like the Guild Mage. It's useful. It can pump creatures and stuff like that. I'll probably put him in the Derevi pile. Mistmetal Witch obviously works with blinkers. Kazandu Tuskcaller works with tappers. Had a Spy Patrol is unblockable, and I can see why they included it. It's unblockable if it's fully leveled, but it just doesn't work well enough to warrant the inclusion in a Derevi pile, so I would yank it. Flicker Form, again, works with the blinkers. Darksteel Mutation isn't a bad form of non-permanent removal. I thought it was pretty funny, actually, so I used it. I would say it could go into either deck. Selesnya Charm is good overall in either deck. Arcane Denial is an awesome sort of counter spell that people don't really mind having their stuff countered and can go into either pile. Restore, without fetch lands on your own, and other stuff that you can sacrifice to get back, or ways to put stuff in people's graveyards, it just doesn't do enough in this deck. If you have fetch lands and you use a bunch of them, I would add Restore. If not, then I would take it out. The Boots is good in any pile. Surveyor's Scope was friggin' awful. This card was horrible. Don't play it. The Signets and Soul Ring are decent, but in all honesty, what I would do is, even though they only cost 2 mana, I would include stuff like Farseek or even Explosive Vegetation or Rampant Growth. That's what I mean. Rampant Growth. 2 mana ramp spells that are going to do better than the Signets. If you don't have access to those, go ahead and put the Signets in. Unexpectedly Absent is a good card. It's a good form of Commander Tuck if you combine it with a Shuffle effect or something like that. So I would include it for sure. Blue Sun Zenith is a decent, form of card draw. It's instant speed. If you've got a lot of mana, you can draw more. Skyward Eye Prophets obviously works with the Derevi pile. Now, it is a wizard, so it'll work well with stuff like Azami. It's not the best card, like unless you're playing with Sensi's Divining Top or something like that, or some other way to figure out what's on top of your library. Most of the time you're going to be tapping this and, well, I mean, it's not bad because it's essentially a draw and ramp. It just costs a lot of mana for what it does. Gin of Infinite Deceits never worked out well. It's got a big butt, and that's about it. I didn't like it. Bane of Progress, I never drew, and you know, it could be good in the rune version if you're not playing with a bunch of enchantments and artifacts. Yeah, I don't know. I never drew it, so I don't know how it worked. Tempt with Glory won me at least one game, but it's a tempting offer card, and most of the time nobody's going to take your offer. However, being able to pump all your dudes permanently is awesome. Katar's Wrath is a nice Wrath variant. Rubinia is awesome in either deck, honestly. She's just a nice way of stealing stuff. But if you wanted to stick her in one or the other, Derevi is good. But honestly, either deck is good. Murkfiend Liege is good for your tappers. Karmic Guide is just an awesome form of recursion either way. Diviner Spirit is a bad card. Nobody likes it. Azami obviously works with your tappers. Airy Mystics, not good enough. Doesn't do enough. Acidic Slime, obviously awesome in Blinkers. Leaf Drake Roost is actually a decent card with the tapping ability. It's, you know, it costs a lot to do what it does, but being able to pump out multiple 2/2 bird tokens a game isn't bad. Conjurer's Closet is obviously made for blink stuff. Wonder is meant for Derevi so that you can make sure and hit with your guys. Lu Xun, same thing. Lu Xun's actually a pretty good card. He doesn't hit for a lot. He works better in with equipment, but he's basically a thieving magpie. Dungeon Geists is good for blinking. Angel Finality, good for blinking, but is overall just a good card in general. I liked Angel Finality, and I would put it in either deck. Control Magic, either deck, fun stuff. Aether Mage's Touch is good for blinking. Washout is a nice way to bounce everything for each deck. Sword of the Perunes, a tapper card, obviously. Thunderstaff, I mean, it's not great, but obviously it goes in the tapper stuff. 1,000-Year Elixir is another tapper. Pilgrim's Eye is really made for the blink stuff so that you can keep getting lands. Leonin Belltrap is bad. I would take it out. All these ramp cards are decent in each deck, although really the Basalt Monolith works better with the tappers. Winged Coatl is basically removal for either pile. Thornwind Fairies, not worth it, honestly. Stonecloaker, good with the blinking. Phantom Nantuko, not worth it, even with the tapping ability. Mirror Entity is just good overall. Flicker Wisp is a blink creature. Fiend Hunter is a blink creature. Farhaven Health is a nice ramp, but honestly it goes with the blinkers. Deceiver Exarch is a tapper. Presence of Gond is a low performing tapper, but can actually work out. God damn it, my phone's ringing. You're not supposed to call me here. Hold on. Alright, we're back. Each of the curses suck. They suck ass. They're freaking awful in these decks. Especially because Curse of Inertia can tap down your stuff if somebody else gets hit. Oh. Alright, one more time. Curses, blow. Take them out. Corrosive Grip is good overall. And borrowing 1,000 arrows is kind of funny. It's worth having. I mean, so a lot of this stuff actually works in either deck. But, you know, Derevi, like I said, likes tappers. Rune likes blink stuff, enters the battlefield stuff. And this is the stuff that you can just yank. So if we look at, like, enters the battlefield to improve the rune deck, we get a wide variety of things like well, some of this stuff isn't that great. Aegis Angel, meh, not the best, but not horrible. Let's get rid of the artifacts because I'm not too excited about the artifacts and the lands here. Like Avenger of Zendikar can flash, you know, bump up a bunch of creatures out there, and you know, Borderland Ranger is another ramp card. Captain of the Watch can produce a bunch of tokens for you when it comes in and out. Let's see, same with Cloud Goat Ranger. Coiling Oracle is a nice little way to blink stuff. Craterhoof Behemoth obviously makes dudes huge. Cream of the Crop is fun to stack your deck. I mean, there's a lot of ways and a lot of enters the battlefield stuff here to use. Kitchen Finks will gain you some life. Knight of the White Orchid can help you ramp. Kederic Leviathan, people will hate you if you blink this, but you know, it's worth looking at. It's Knight Captain of Eos. Core Cartographer. I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff. Revelark, Restoration Angel, Vox Meditant. You know, even stuff like Runed Halo. Although Rune only deals with creatures, so you could get rid of the rest of the stuff. But anyways, there's a lot of options there to improve your Rune deck. For Derevi, honestly, because she works so well with Azami, I would focus on Wizards, honestly. And I know the main one... Oh, crap. I added an S. The main one I would add would be Arcanus. Because Arcanus, being able to get multiple taps out of him is freaking awesome. Where are you, Arcanus? There you are. Arcanus is awesome. Archivist isn't bad. You know. I'm not sure if there's really a way to search for the tap symbol. But, you know, like Beguiler of Wills is a nice tapper. I mean, there's a bunch of ways to... Just anything that has a tap symbol on it. Any creature is going to really work well. You know, even stuff like Echo Mage and Urtai is going to be good. Whenever Fallow Sage becomes tapped, draw a card. You know, so it's a basis for a decent deck with what it has right now. I didn't think that it was as good as either the Eternal Bargain deck or the Nature of the Beast deck, but it definitely wasn't as bad as Mind Seize, and it was better than the Power Hungry deck. So, you know, there you go. I'm not a huge Derevi fan, and I'm not even really a huge Rune fan, honestly. But, you know, you've got the startings of a good deck there. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the gameplays and the deck tip. Thanks.